Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into AI in healthcare today. You guys sent in tons of research, so it's obvious you're ready to explore everything AI in hospitals and doctors' offices.
Yeah, and what I think is so interesting is that a lot of what you sent focuses on trust.
Right, like it's one thing for Spotify to suggest a song, but when AI is making diagnoses or suggesting treatments, that's different.
Absolutely. How do you build trust when AI feels like a black box?
Exactly.
Like $1 million question, and researchers are trying to make AI more transparent in how it makes decisions.
Okay.
For example, there's Alexander Stadler, Werner G. Mueller, and Radoslav Harman, and their research on Greenline.
Greenline.
Yeah, it's a technique that makes the LIME method more efficient.
Okay, so instead of just getting an answer, Greenline helps us understand the why.
Yeah, like it's showing its work, basically, and that's crucial in healthcare since the stakes are so high. And, you also included some work on SegX by Yuhao Zhang Mincheng Zhu and Jiao Luo.
SegX, what is that one about?
So imagine an AI analyzing a chest x-ray, but it highlights a birthmark as a possible problem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not helpful. And SegX uses these things called segmentation models to make the AI focus on the right areas.
Oh, so it's seeing like a doctor would.
Yeah, and not just explaining what it sees, but seeing like a doctor. And that leads us to another big topic, large language models, or LLMs. They're already changing how we use technology, but now they're in healthcare too.
I'm guessing they're more than just chatbots.
Oh yeah, way more. Kabir Kumar's research is a great example. He's looking at LLMs and speech recognition for real-time diagnosis.
Whoa, so I call my doctor, describe my symptoms, and an AI is listening, suggesting things before I even hang up.
Exactly.
That's wild. Would you be comfortable with an AI listening to your appointment? What do you think about that?
It's something to think about for sure, and that's just one example. Tons of research is going into LLMs for medicine. One that stood out to me was Beichuan M1 by a huge team led by Binging Wang.
Okay.
It's actually a bunch of LLMs for different specialties like cardiology or neurology.
So each LLM is like a specialist.
And they're doing really well in both general medical knowledge and those specialties.
Wow, so how do these LLMs actually work in a hospital? Are we going to have robot doctors replacing humans?
That's a common fear, but it's more nuanced than that. The best uses for AI aren't about replacing doctors. It's about giving them more tools.
Okay, so AI is a sidekick.
Exactly. Partnership, not replacement. There's research on this too. Zirui Chir, Hassan Rivaz, and Yuming Shao are using eye tracking data from radiologists to train an AI for chest x-rays.
So the AI is learning from an expert.
Exactly. It's seeing what the human focuses on, and the results are great, more accurate diagnoses, which is good for everyone. And then there's USPilot by Mingkong Chen, Sikifan Guanglin Cao, and Hongbin Liu.
USPilot, what is it?
AI-powered robot ultrasound system.
Okay, now that sounds futuristic. How does that even work?
It uses LLMs to understand what the user wants to see in the ultrasound and then guides the robot to do the scan. Could be huge, especially where they don't have enough sonographers. This tech could make ultrasounds way more accessible for everyone. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever been somewhere where AI could have made things easier in healthcare?
That's a great point and shows how AI is about way more than just x-rays or diagnoses. It could change everything from how we talk to doctors to how we manage our own health. It's clear that AI is going to have a big impact. And the research you sent is just the start. We've got lots more to talk about, so let's take a break and come back to explore even more. So before the break, we were talking about AI as this helper for doctors in healthcare.
Yeah, and it's more than just helping doctors. We're seeing AI give patients tools to manage their own health.
Right. I think people really want that more control over their health. So how's AI doing that?
Well, think about all the data we have now. Fitness trackers, sleep apps, our medical records. AI can help us understand it all.
Oh, so it's like having a personal health analyst showing you what your body's doing.
Exactly, and that means we can get more personalized and preventative care. Like, there's research on using AI to predict if you'll get diabetes based on your genes and lifestyle.
Wow, catching that early would be huge.
Early intervention is key, and AI can help us find out who's at risk so they can do something about it. But AI isn't just about preventing things, it's changing how we treat existing conditions too.
Right. I've heard a lot about personalized medicine, and it feels like AI is a big part of that.
It is. Researchers are using AI for personalized treatments for all sorts of things, cancer, heart disease, you name it.
So an AI looks at your genes, your lifestyle, your medical history, and makes a plan just for you?
Exactly, a treatment that's unique like a fingerprint.
That's a great way to put it. So that could mean better results, fewer side effects, a better life overall.
Exactly. And so we've talked about how AI is changing things for people who are already sick. But what about discovering new treatments? Is AI making that faster?
Right.
Definitely drug discovery takes forever and costs a ton, but AI is changing that it can analyze tons of data to find drugs that might work, predict how well they'll work, even design new molecules.
So it's like having a bunch of AI scientists working all the time to find new cures.
Exactly. And that could be huge for diseases we can't cure right now, especially rare diseases where it's hard to do traditional drug development.
That would give hope to so many people. It's amazing. But we have to remember AI is a tool, and any tool can be misused.
You're right. We have to develop and use AI responsibly, thinking about ethics and risks.
Definitely. So we've talked about prevention, treatment, and finding new drugs. But what about right now? Is AI being used in healthcare settings today? Is it helping people right
Oh,
now?
yeah, there are tons of AI tools being used right now, from diagnosis to patient support.
Okay.
Some hospitals are using AI to decide who needs to be seen first in the ER.
Oh, that makes sense. Be more efficient and could save lives.
Exactly. And there are AI systems that help radiologists look at X-rays and CT scans, and they can find problems faster and more accurately.
Oh, like a second pair of eyes that never gets tired.
Exactly. And AI is making virtual assistants to help people with chronic conditions like diabetes. These assistants track your blood sugar, give you feedback, remind you to take your meds.
Like a health coach in your pocket. Amazing how tech can give you that personal support.
It is, and these are just a few examples of AI's impact, and as it keeps getting better, we'll see even more in the years to come.
Feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
We are. It's such an exciting time to be watching this happen, breakthroughs all the time. It's fascinating to think where this will all lead.
It is. But before we get too lost in the future, let's bring it back to now we've covered a lot from how AI works to how it can change our lives. So let's think about what we've learned, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up with some final thoughts on AI in healthcare.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So we've talked about AI that can read X-rays and even predict if you'll get certain diseases.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff, and I think the big takeaway is that AI isn't sci-fi anymore. It's here, it's being used, and it's changing things.
You're right, and we've said AI could change healthcare in so many ways, but like any powerful tech, there are challenges. Absolutely, like data privacy, which we talked about before. AI needs tons of data to work, but that data is often really personal.
Yeah, that's a big one. We have to make sure patient data is protected and used the right way, especially as AI gets more common in healthcare.
For sure. And it's not just about keeping data safe from hackers, it's also about making sure the AI is fair.
What do you mean?
So AI algorithms are only as good as the data they learn from. If the data is biased, the AI will be biased too.
Okay.
Like if an AI learns from data that's mostly white men, it might not work as well for other people.
So it's not just about lots of data, it's about data that represents everyone.
Exactly. And that's something researchers are working on, making AI algorithms fair for everyone.
Good to hear. But even if we solve data privacy and bias, there's still the question of AI and doctors. Will AI replace doctors? Some people worry about that.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. AI is a tool and it can be used in different ways. I think AI will actually make the doctor-patient relationship better. For one, AI can do some of the boring stuff for doctors, like reading medical records or looking at test results. That gives doctors more time to actually talk to patients, give them support, and make the tough decisions.
So AI does the routine work and doctors can focus on the human side of things?
Exactly, and AI can help patients understand their health better too. Imagine an app that explains your diagnosis in plain language, answers your questions about treatment, even connects you with support groups.
That's a great idea, especially for people with complicated conditions. It could really help them manage their own health.
Exactly, and I think that's what AI in healthcare is all about, helping patients and doctors make better decisions together.
It's exciting, but as we finish up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from all of this?
I think the big thing is that AI in healthcare is changing so fast and it has so much potential. There are challenges, but if we're careful and thoughtful, AI can really make healthcare better for everyone.
And remember, this is just the start. As AI keeps getting better, we have to keep learning, keep asking questions, and work together to make sure AI is used the right way to make a healthier future for all of us. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring.